2, 1, and we are live again. Yahoo! Hello, everyone. I hope you're tuned in and ready for a big showdown. I just ran an experiment in the last couple of days. Started on Sunday and just over the weekend. And I did a test of putting video on Facebook and putting the same video on LinkedIn and prompting a lot of engagement. And I wanted to see which of the two platforms would perform better, which video would do better, which video would get more engagement, which video would get more views, which video seemed more worth doing, and how did the two platforms compare. And I wanted to do this because I've been spending a lot of time on Facebook doing live streaming, and some of the time when I'm on Facebook, I tell people, you really should try LinkedIn. And then, of course, at the same time, I'm putting videos over on LinkedIn, and when I'm over there, it's a whole different crowd, and I'm saying to those guys, hey, you should really think about putting video over on Facebook. And then the question comes up like, well, what are the differences, and which of these two platforms is better? And is there any, study, or has anybody done any comparing of these two platforms to really see how they do and what are the differences? So what I want to do today is I want to go over, first of all, some of the basic changes, like what's the difference between doing a video on one or the other, and should you choose one over the other? And then I want to just basically show you, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to literally show you what happened with this video that I posted. And I think that the answer is going to surprise you. So if you're watching, and anytime, even if you're in the future and you're watching this during the replay, if you get any kind of nugget or pearl of wisdom or light bulb that goes off in your head, what I'd like you to do is to write hashtag AHA, A-H-A, in the comments down below, and then tell me what that was. Like, what did you get from this experiment? What was the thing that just went, oh my gosh, that's great. And in that way, by doing this, you'll help me in terms of feedback and what I might actually talk about in the future. But also you'll be helping everybody else who's watching this video. And because we all get different takeaways and we all get something different from looking at what's going on. And it's really, we're going to benefit one another the more we share sort of our knowledge and our takeaway and our insight into what's going on with these platforms, because they're new, and there's a lot of learning that still needs to happen in order to use them in the best way to grow our business, to give yourself more exposure, to help you connect with lots more people. So let's dive in. So the first thing I want to go over is just like, what's the difference between putting a video on Facebook and putting a video on LinkedIn? And the main difference is this. Facebook will allow you to go live and to actually do live video just like this, which has an advantage of if there are people joining you live, and if you guys are joining me live, say so in the comments because I can see your comments here. And you can have that actually dialogue in the moment with people, interacting with them, which is great. It's really a cool thing. And I'm just going to check here and see if I've got people watching. Oh, look, there's somebody there. Yes. All right. Excellent. So having this dialogue is really helpful. On LinkedIn, you can't actually go live. And however, if you go, if you make a video on your phone and you use the LinkedIn app, it's almost live in that you can make the video and just do it all in one take without doing any editing. And then immediately when you're done, just hit the upload button and it goes immediately off and it is almost live. So you can still prompt and ask for comments, which is great. And the other thing about the two platforms that's different is that over on LinkedIn, there is a time limit. Your videos can't be any longer than 10 minutes. Whereas on Facebook, you can make a video as long as you want. And in fact, if you're making a live video, my recommendation is that they go pretty long, that you want to make a video that lasts at least 20 minutes and maybe could go for 30 minutes or so. And the reason for that is because when you're doing a live video, Facebook will send notifications to the people who follow you, the people who are have liked your business page, or the people who are your friends. And that takes time. And so if you only make a video for 5 minutes, what happens is that those notifications are still going out, and people will get a notification and the live video will already be over. So they say that peak viewing actually happens at 20 minutes in. Can you imagine? It just takes that long for people to be notified and then to return and come back to you. And of course, this is propelled exponentially. The more people are commenting on your video, the more people are sharing your video, and the more people are liking your video, and all of that kind of interaction. Which again, like if somebody shares your video, it's really good because that can be seen by all of their followers. And the very best engagement is when someone shares your video and they tag someone. They actually tag a friend that, oh, you should watch this. So if you think anybody should watch this video, go ahead and share it and tag someone that you know personally who would benefit. Maybe you know somebody who's been making videos only on Facebook and they're thinking of going on to LinkedIn, and they should watch this video to find out, whether or not it would be worth doing. Or maybe vice versa. Maybe you know somebody who's making videos over on LinkedIn, and now they're going to learn whether or not switching to Facebook or adding Facebook would be a good idea. So that's what we're going after today. So now what I want to do is I want to explain the experiment that I ran. So what I did was I did a video that was based on a story. And the story that I chose was Cinderella. And I just want to say that this is one of the most effective kinds of video making that you can do. That one of the things, like in terms of your content, that what are you going to talk about, is you can tell a story, and it doesn't even have to be your own story, or it doesn't have to be a true story. It can be a story from a movie that you saw, or it can be a story from a book that you read. And the trick is that you want to take a story, if it's somebody else's story, or if it's from a movie. This is something that a lot of people will know about. They'll know that story, and you want to put your own particular spin on it, your own particular thing, so that it's surprising. So in this case, Cinderella, like everybody thinks that they know the Cinderella story, and you can go to everyone everywhere, and it's an old story. It certainly is older than the time of the first Disney movie. It's a story that's been told in over hundreds of years, and changed and modified, and we all think that we know what the story is. So here's an opportunity for me to come up with not only a new take on Cinderella, but how to connect it with what I'm doing, like with my work, which has to do with making video and having to do with, in this case, showing up in the world as the person who you are. And this was the lesson that I got from watching Cinderella, the most recent Disney version of the movie that I was watching with my daughter. And so I got this lesson, and I shared it on the video, and I gave it a different title. And the title was, do you feel like you've been hiding in the closet? So that's the story. That's sort of the setup that I did. And then what I did was I took that video and I posted it onto LinkedIn, and I posted it onto Facebook. And then what I did was that over on LinkedIn, I sent a personal message to about 20 people who I know and I'm connected with on LinkedIn, who I know actually make videos. So there's a group of people who I know, and I actually know them personally. I met them in real life, and I sent them a message and said, hey, I'm doing this experiment, and I explained briefly what that was, and I say, I've made this video, and I'd like you to watch it and leave a comment as a favor. And so I sent those messages out. Then I went over to Facebook, and I did the very same thing. In fact, I went into my Facebook group, my Livestream Rockstars group, which, if you haven't joined it, you should say in the comments, let me in your group. Because it's a group of people who are making videos, and we share the videos, and we're kind of learning from each other on how to do this medium in that group. So I went to a bunch of people who are in the Livestream Rockstars group, the rock stars of Livestream Rockstars, and I sent them a personal message. Again, it was about 20 people, and I said the same thing. Hey, I'm doing this experiment. Can you do me a favor by watching the video and leaving a comment? And I got a bunch of comments. So what I like to do now is I want to show you the results from this experiment. And I'm just going to share my screen. Hang on just a minute while I do that. And I go, bing, the magic button, and look, here we are. So over here, first I'm going to go to my Facebook page. So here we are in Awesome Video Makers on Facebook. And come down to where the video is. Now this is going to take just a moment for the whole thing to load. And I see Grace is here. Hey, Grace. Thanks for tuning in. And scrolling down to where, oh, look, this is the live feed right now. So I'm seeing myself in about a 30-second delay right there. And there's a post from yesterday that also got a lot of comments. And what I want to say about this is that asking for engagement and getting people to actually leave a comment on your video is something that you really want to do with your videos. It's what is one of the secrets to getting your videos seen the most. So here we are at the video, and you can see what I did with this video is I edited it into a square format. And so it has a title up here on the top, and then I've got captions down here in the bottom. And if you would like to know, how did I do this? You can say, how did you make that video with the title and the captions? And say that in the comments. And I can make another video, a tutorial that shows you how to do this, if you're interested. So here it is. And I just want to show you the performance of this video. So down here, you'll notice that on Facebook, one thing that you can do is you can boost your post. And I actually did that with this video. In this case, I put in $10 and I got some engagement because of that. But here's the results right along here. So 9 people liked this video. It got 16 comments, and it was shared 4 times, and a total of, you can see this right here, a total of 166 views. Okay, so, and I just want to use this as an example because, and you can see some of the comments down below, and the cool thing is that people actually responded really well to this story. You know, it's a Cinderella story. So all these folks actually had a lot to say about it. And great, they wrote, several lines of commenting, which if you know anything about Facebook and if you know how people respond, usually they just go like, and they don't really have a lot to say. So getting them to respond this way and to this depth was really great. And I personally want to thank every single person who left a comment. Thank you so much. You guys really actually continued and carried on a pretty thoughtful conversation, which is great. I mean, it's really awesome. And this is really the core of what we want to have happen when we're making videos and we're trying to engage people into meaningful conversation. This is really where it's at. And this is, the more we can do this, the more we can elevate, social media to being more social and actually more meaningful, and not just, a bunch of selfie pictures and cat videos. So anyway, so this is what happened. The other thing I'll say about the Facebook side of things is that I want to present this as something that's possible. Like most people, practically anyone could get these results. You can put out a video and you can do this kind of thing and you will get, as many as 166 views and you'll get this kind of commenting, okay? So I got 16 people who commented on this video. And I'll show you one other little trick here. If I click on, say, the people who liked it, a window opens up. And what happens over here, if you can see, is that there's a little button. And of course, I've clicked on all of this, but originally, if someone hadn't already liked my page, this would be a blue button and it would say invite. And so anybody who likes your video or anybody who comments and this is on your business page, you can open up all of those people who have engaged with you this way, and then you can invite them to come actually back and like your page. So they've watched your video, and now you invite them to like your page, and now they will be getting notifications in the future to watch your future videos. So this is a really, really easy step to take when you're on Facebook. So let's go over to LinkedIn and see what happened over there. So here we are on LinkedIn, and it's the same video, same presentation, the same square format, the same captions down below. And here is what we got. There were 15 likes, 31 comments, and over 680 views. 680? That's crazy. So, okay, so Facebook, I did this thing on Facebook. You know, I have a business page with something like 7,000 people have liked my page, and I got just over 100 views on this video, this same video. Here on LinkedIn, I have something less, I mean, it's probably like 1,500 or 1,600 connections on LinkedIn, so I have a smaller audience by quite a lot, and yet I was able to get over 600 views on the same video. So that's 6 times, 6 times the engagement. And of course, in terms of the commenting, I got twice the number of comments. So instead of 16 comments, I got 31 comments, which again is a really big difference, really significant. And the level of commenting was similar in that people gave very heartfelt, meaningful responses, several lines long, in the comments below this video. So my point with all of this is not necessarily to say, okay, let's all migrate over to LinkedIn and do all our videos there. But if you've been posting videos on Facebook, and look, Cinderella's coming up right there. There she is, Cinderella. She's coming in and she's catching herself in the mirror, and her narrator, fairy godmother, is saying, "It's the bravest thing you could ever do is to show up as who you are." And then her mother is intoning, "Have courage and be kind." And that was like the big lesson of this whole, what I got from the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. And you're going to watch this video. If you're interested, if you haven't actually seen this video yet, say, "Show me the video" in the comments, and I'll put a link, and you can actually go and watch this video, and you can leave a comment. So anyway, back to what's happening on LinkedIn and Facebook. So if you're posting videos on Facebook, and you haven't yet actually done any video on LinkedIn, the simplest thing to do is simply to take the same video that you made on Facebook and put it over on LinkedIn. And in fact, if you're making shorter videos, anything less than 10 minutes, and I would say for a pre-recorded video, I would think maybe only 3 minutes would be a really good length. Kind of the shorter the better. So you make a 3-minute video, you put it up on Facebook, and put the same video over on LinkedIn, and on both videos, ask for comments. Literally tell people what to do in the comments, and they will. And the more comments you get, the more engagement you get, and the more views you'll get. And I promise you that you'll get at least as many views and engagements on LinkedIn as you will over on Facebook. And in all the time that I've been doing this, I've noticed that usually what happens is I get practically double or more views and engagement over onto LinkedIn than I do on Facebook. However, now, if you're doing stuff on LinkedIn and you have never done anything on Facebook, well, you should do things on both places. And if you're doing a 10-minute video or a 5-minute video or a 3-minute video on LinkedIn, it's really easy to take that same video and put it over on Facebook. And again, the more engagement that you get and the more prompting that you do, the more your Facebook video will be seen by more people. And there's a whole long laundry list of, well, how do you get that engagement? And this is the experimentation that I'm doing on into the future. So stay tuned to the videos that I'm going to present, because I'm going to be doing a really deep dive in how do you get people to engage with you in this medium. because that's where the magic is. I mean, basically what we're doing when we're doing a video, particularly a live video like this one, is we are making our own stage and we're speaking from our own stage. And if you can get up, just like I did over the weekend, and when I put those two videos together, I got a combined audience of over 700 people, almost 800 people that I reached and watched part of my video. And out of that group, I had at least 40 some people comment on the video, which means that I was able to engage and talk with them, and I know who they are, and I can follow up with them. So here I am creating my own stage, and I've got 40 people who have actually engaged with me, and now I can follow up with them. So, compare this to actually going out in the real world and getting in front of some local Chamber of Commerce group. Could you get 40 people to come to a meetup? Or could you get 40 people to come to your local chamber and pay attention to you and engage with you and have a conversation? This is where doing video on these platforms is really, really valuable for you and your business, and for building a real community of people who are quite interested and engaged with you. So I want to explore this. I want to go in a deep dive, and I want to keep on, doing experiments like this and then kind of bringing, this is what I did. This is what worked. And if I have a failure, I'm going to say, this is what I did and this is how it tanked. So don't do that. And these are the things that I'm going to share with you guys. So if you've got any kind of nugget, any kind of wisdom, any kind of light bulb going off in your head from this video, go ahead and say, aha, hashtag aha, and then tell me what it is. And if there's something specific that you would like me to do in the future, go ahead and ask that question and say, hey, how about doing this kind of video, or answer this question? How do you do this kind of thing? I will make a video for you. And if you haven't yet joined my group on Facebook, it's Livestream Rockstars on Facebook. And if you want to get into that group, all you have to do is say, let me in the group in the comments, and I will let you in, or I'll send you the link and you can just join. It's a free group, and in that group what happens is that people are learning about how to do video both on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on all the other platforms where you can do this, including YouTube and Instagram and even on Twitter. And we're sharing what we're learning, and people are posting videos and sharing them into the group, and you're going to get positive feedback on, hey, that was awesome, and have you tried this other thing to do? And I will watch your videos, and I will give you feedback, and we will all get better and become real video rock stars. So I'm just checking the time here. I've been going on for 24 minutes, which is really optimum time. And I'm just taking a look at Grace's. Grace has a question. She says, do you also put these videos on YouTube after posting them on LinkedIn and Facebook? That's a great question, Grace. And the answer is, yes, I do. And in fact, one of the tools that I use, and in fact, I'm using it right now. You may notice that I'm looking into my camera, which I have my fancy DSLR camera, and I've got it on autofocus. So if you think I'm in focus, this is actually, I'm going to be transparent here. This is the first time that I've trusted autofocus. I'm a big believer in using manual focus. It's like, I'm not using autofocus. I know how to focus, and I'll do the manual thing. But today I said, no, I'm going to go autofocus and just see how it works. So if you like my focus today, say, I love your focus in the comments. And this is a test. And if it works, then I'm going to keep doing it, because honestly, autofocus is really easy. But anyway, my tool is that I use my camera here, and then my laptop is down here. And it's hooked up, my camera's hooked up with a cable to my laptop, and I'm using a piece of software called Ecamm Live, which allows me to do things. And I'll just switch out of it right now. Hang on. Let me go back to, we're going to go back to the camera. Yeah, there we are. And I'm going to just adjust my screen here just a sec. There we go. Oh, look, isn't that cool? I can just dim it down a little bit. How about that? Do you like this lit a little bit better? So anyway, I can do all these cool settings on my camera, but I'm actually broadcasting through my laptop, which is down here. And if I try to turn it around, you'll see right here, very carefully, there it is right there. So you can see I'm looking into infinity. And it's kind of cool, huh? So there we are. And it's Ecamm Live. And what Ecamm Live lets me do, it lets me do things like put on my logo. So if I point to it, let's see. I point to it right there. Right there. There's my logo. And I can share my screen. And I can actually post pre-recorded video. So it's a really versatile tool that lets me do all kinds of cool stuff, even though I'm broadcasting live. And what it does, as soon as I'm done, it asks me, do you want this video to go to YouTube? And all I have to do is press a button, and it posts it off to YouTube, and it puts it there, automatically. So the answer is yes. And I'm going to say that in video making world, the cool thing is that when you're making the right kind of video, you can take one piece of content and repurpose it all over the place. So in the time that it takes to make the video, let's say you're making a short 3-minute video, and it's a live video. So I go live, I do 3 minutes, I'm done, and then I send it off to YouTube, and I download it and upload it over to LinkedIn, and then I take the YouTube video and I embed it into my blog, and then I send it to a transcribing place that I use called Subtitles, and they transcribe it, and then I take that copy and paste that, and that's my blog post. Then I take my email and I send it out to my email list and say, hey, you guys, I just made this really cool video for you. Come and watch it here on my blog. And I get all this traffic of people coming to my blog post. All of this happens. And now with my one short 3-minute video, I'm now on LinkedIn. I'm now on Facebook. I'm now in my group on Facebook. I'm now on YouTube. I'm now on my blog. And all the people on my email list have been notified, and they can come watch the video too. So basically, I'm all over the place. And if it was a short video, it only took me 3 minutes. And when you're really rocking and rolling like this, you hire a virtual assistant to then go out and do the repurposing work for you. So your time is spent just making a little video, and then boom, it gets put up all over the place. So that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate strategy. And if when you're doing this, like I say, you're getting really good engagement and people are commenting and getting back to you, great, brilliant. Now you're basically generating leads, and you can continue that conversation with people. You can get them on your email list. You can nurture them, and in a very short period of time, turn them into clients. Or you can invite them to have a virtual coffee chat with you. And then when you're having that phone call, you're talking to someone who's already very familiar with you, and they're already warmed up. And, great, you start winning the game. So let's see. Awesome. Grace says she loves the orchid. Me too. I love it. All right, that's what I have for you guys today, and I'm going to sign off, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to tune in next week. I'll be going live at the same time, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and I will see you then, if not sooner. So long, everybody.